So here it is, our prospect rundown, presented by Applebee's.
Boom.
All over Chris Simms' rankings for the draft class of 2021 this year. Number 6 in your Chris Simms 2021 NFL Draft wide receiver prospect list. I'm going to say that every time.
Wow, that's a good, that's a tongue twister there. Number 6 is going to be Terrace Marshall Jr., a.k.a. Justin Jefferson Jr., a little bit, coming out of LSU. You know, really interesting prospect, first off. A lot of similarities to Justin Jefferson. Not quite the same player. You know, I'm not as high on the guy overall, but when you look at the player altogether, there's not much not to like. I mean, first off, he can do it all. And when I say that, I mean, hey, he's got size, 6'3", 200. And when I say he can do it all, I mean, he can play inside or out. He has the versatility to do that. He did a lot of the Justin Jefferson slot type things that he did for Joe Burrow in that offense. Put him in the slot. He runs slants from the slot. Fake slant, come back out, little in cuts over the middle. So really, when you look at him from, you know, the aspect of route running, he's a good route runner. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's as good as Justin Jefferson as a route runner.
Okay.
I don't think he's got the same type of hips and wiggle. But as far as pure speed goes, it's right there with Justin Jefferson. I think just the absolute pure speed aspect of it. And he has unbelievable feet, too. You know, so his ability to kind of chop, stutter at the line of scrimmage, get off jam coverage, or, you know, get up to the 10-yard mark and then chop and break inside on an in-cut route is really special.
So that is number 6. So now so let's just go 5-4 real quick and then go to your top 10. No. Number 5 for you in your wide receiver rank.
Number 5, I'm going to go with Cadarius Toney from Florida.
Okay.
All right. And he could be easily number 4, too. To me, it's a little bit here of, like, what you want as a football player. But with Cadarius Toney, I mean, what else is more to say? I mean, weapon, explosion, everything. You know, yes, is he the most nuanced route runner there is yet? You know, no, there's not. He's kind of raw when it comes to route running. But, you know, again, I'm not going to overanalyze it. There's enough where I see, oh, he runs 5 yards and he makes a sharp cut. Or, you know, certain routes where I go, okay, that was really well done. He's doing it more right now with just a pure physical ability because that's what he can do.
Yeah.
He's got incredible acceleration. I would really say, you know, it's top tier as far as anybody involved in this draft, as far as getting up to top speed in the first 2 to 3 steps. You know, and really rare, too, with a weapon guy like this. Like, there's a physicality element to his game. You know, with the speed sweeps, the slants over the middle. You know, I would say really Jamar Chase, who's going to be in that top 3 where we're talking about, to me, it's Jamar Chase and Toney who are the most dangerous with the ball in their hand.
Okay.
Because one, of course, hey, they're fast as hell. They're quick as hell to make people miss, Cadarius Toney. But, you know, they're not afraid to lower a shoulder and bounce off somebody. They run through a number of arm tackles to go along with that. So I think that's the thing you talk about. When you talk about Cadarius Toney, it's acceleration, it's twitchiness, and then, you know, top-end speed is pretty damn elite too. So there's nothing not to like. He fits the NFL game no matter, you know, okay, yeah, I'd like to see him be a little different as a route runner or just a little bit more experienced that way, but I've seen enough to know that's totally a possibility, and he has all the physical tools to be a great, great route runner.
Yeah, number 4 in the Chris Simms wide receiver rankings.
Number 4, and I'm telling you, it's close between me and number 4 and 5 to me, again. But this is where I'm going to go with Jaylen Waddle as number 4.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
He is on the outside of the big 3 for me, all right? I really like Jaylen Waddle. Let's just make sure everybody knows that right now. I'd be really happy if I was a quarterback and Jaylen Waddle was playing wide receiver for me. I guess, listen, the reason I got Jaylen Waddle as number 4 is because I think he's a true slot receiver, okay? I do have a little bit of a concern as far as size of the player. Now, he's really good at getting off jam and he's good at the line of scrimmage. But again, as NFL DBs and on the outside, I'm not sure I'm sold he can win on the outside play after play after play against the top tier wide receivers in all of football. That's why he's 4 and not in the top 3 or anything like that, all right?
Okay.
I think he's a true slot. Not to say he can't go outside a little bit and do that. Yeah, I know he can, but I think between that, all right, so you talk about the size a little there, and then acceleration, twitchiness, quickness, off the charts good.
Yep.
But speed, pure straight line speed is not not as good as the top 3 I'm going to talk about, nor do I think his pure straight line speed is as fast as, Cadarius Toney out of Florida that we just talked about. But now when we talk about route running and being a nuanced game one ready NFL slot receiver, that's where, Waddle's ready to go.
Some have him up to 2, and I think some try to make the case that he could go against Jamar Chase. He's number 4 for you. Number 3 in your wide receiver draft.
Here's my guy. This is my guy right here.
You've tabbed him your guy.
This is my guy. Well, this is the guy that I just don't understand why nobody's talking about this guy. That's why he's my guy. This is my, let's say, my Chase Claypool of this year, right?
Okay.
And I didn't chicken out and not put him in the top 5. But Dyami Brown. Dyami Brown from North Carolina. To me, this is the, and let me just preface it this. We got the top 3 here, and I think the top 3 are close, all right? I think it's close. I'm not sitting here going, oh, number 1 is purely number 1. Number 1, 2, and 3 to me are special, like special superstars, like can have a bright future. And Dyami Brown to me was the one that, like, out of all the guys I watched in the draft, I just went, whoa, who's this guy? Like, okay, I saw a little North Carolina football this year. I remember watching him catch, like, one deep pass and whatever else. But you know me, I'm a casual college guy. I'm not, like, breaking it down during the seson.
Yeah.
But as I turned him on, it was literally from, like, the first snap. I swear to you, the first snap, I went, whoa, okay, it's play 1. I'm not trying to judge, but play 1 looked like superstar. So
what was it? Do you remember what caught your eye?
I think just the way he took off, like they said, set hut, and the way he took off in like the first 10 steps, I just went, that looked like a superstar. I don't know. I haven't seen anything else yet. Let's see if he can catch. I don't know if he can do anything else. But the way he moved and took off, I went, uh-oh. Like acceleration, top notch, top end speed. It's Odell Beckham Jr. with the ball in the air type speed. I mean, he has another gear. There's nobody that can run with this kid. Nobody. I didn't see one game that anybody could even run with him. In fact, and in so many of the games, it's good DBs who are 9 yards off, and they're running back at the start of the snap. They're like set hut, and they're literally running back. Like, you can have the 10-yard curl route. We'll give it to you. I'm not going to let you put me on a highlight for a 60-yard bomb.
Can he do that in the NFL?
He can do that in the NFL. And this isn't just some speed straight line guy. First off, route running, I thought, was through the roof in all aspects. You know, again, being able to break down, stick your foot in the ground. You know, coming back to the ball was one thing that I didn't like early on in the film. And as the year went on, I went, oh, no, he's coming back to the ball. So this guy, he adjusts on the fly to fix some of the issues he had altogether. But, you know, pure raw speed and ability, whether that's top-end speed that I think's probably 4.3 type speed, right? Maybe faster. I don't know. All right. Then, you know, acceleration that we talked about with Waddle and Cadarius Toney, it's right up there with them as far as the acceleration's concerned. It's special. You know, maybe he's not quite as twitchy and the jitterbug those two guys are,
right,
like that slot type there they are. But still, this is unbelievable feet at the line of scrimmage, you know, and really understands how to set DBs up and has incredible start-stop ability. So double moves, you know, or a fake curl route, he breaks down and then re-accelerates again. I mean, I was just blown away by the guy altogether, let alone it's not just some track guy, Ahmed. It's not just some guy who's just fast and does all that. You know, again, you go back to the physicality thing and that, man, he catches the ball over the middle, snatches it out of the air, which I love, which means when he can catch slants and go for 70-yard touchdowns, and there's no shying away from contact. He's got no problem with that. I mean, really, I think, you know, as you could tell, I'm very excited about him because he's just one of those guys that just go, I don't understand why he's not getting a little more credit.
So we have a top 2. Your number 2 wide receiver in the Chris Simms 2021 NFL draft rankings.
Devonta Smith will be my number 2. Okay. And again,
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Alabama.
Has it all. Okay. And obviously Jamar Chase is going to be my number 1. But this is neck and neck. You know, neck and neck with my man Dyami Brown just being barely on the outside of these two guys to go along with it. All right, so let's talk the first thing. I mean, first off, We know Devonta Smith is a freak of nature.
Yep.
I mean, you've seen it. You saw enough college football. You can be the most casual of football fans there are to know, wait, number 6 in Alabama is the real deal. Who the hell is this guy? All right, but here, let's just dispel some of the rumors right off the bat. You know, he's 6'1", he's 175, maybe 180 pounds. He's too skinny. Not sure if that can work and everything like that. First off, he has a frame to me that shows he's going to get bigger. All right? So, and I played with guys, and I can't remember the other name. There's like 2 players ever who have been like above 6 foot and weighed under 180. And like one of them was Snoop Minnis out of Florida State a few years. I played with him at Tampa. This is a different body than a Snoop Minnis. Snoop is really narrow and like small-hipped, and legs were close together. Devonta Smith is a high-cut, high-waisted guy with some more thickness in his legs. And, again, I don't know what his size is, but the way he looks as a human being and just my history being around football, he looks like a guy that it's not going to be, like, hard for him to get bigger as he gets older here. I think there's going to be natural weight that comes along with it. But despite all of that, like, there's nothing on film to say that strength is an issue with the game. Nothing. Like, there's absolutely nothing you can look at to go, oh, well, this concerns me. See, I've seen 10 clips like this where he gets jammed at the line of scrimmage, or the ball's in the air down the field and the guys are hand fighting and he's totally just getting thrown off kilter and he can't hold his ground, right?
So even with his weight, he's not getting thrown around.
He's got an incredible play strength and physicality to his game that I thought was the most pleasant surprise of all. It's why I like the Dyami Brown, too. I didn't really get to hit on that aspect. He plays through contact. I'm big with that at receiver. They're not going to call pass interference every play. So can you finish your routes at 15 and 20 yards down the field when you've been armbarred or hit? Some of these guys we could talk about later, where that's why I go, they're not in the first-round conversation. They get hit, and the route's over. They're all over the place. Like Devonta Smith, he can play through contact, the 50-50 balls, catching the ball through traffic is really good. When people do get a hand on him at the line of scrimmage, he can fight right through it and has no issue. The play's not ruined, right? And let alone at the line of scrimmage, he's incredible at getting off the ball and not letting you get jammed.
So you really like Devonta Smith.
I do.
You are going crazy over him, which means that you must really, really like your number 1 guy.
No, I really like all 3 of my top 3, as you could tell.
But there's something that you like about Ja'Marr Chase over those other 2.
Well, Ja'Marr Chase, to me, is just a slam dunk. That's where it's like, okay, Devonta Smith, okay, the size thing is a little skinny. Okay, it's not perfect. Dyami Brown, maybe you could say a little bit, I'd like to see it, wish he got used in a few different ways, right? Like you talked about. It was just to go, like, okay, I'm being nitpicky. Ja'Marr Chase it's the safest, let alone it's really awesome and the best too. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Now, again, I don't think the gap is like I said, I think it's, okay, he's 1, Devonta Smith is 1A, and Dyami Brown is 1B. I wouldn't be mad if any of those 3 went off the board. If somebody went, we picked this receiver first, I'm not going to go, well, that's just so stupid. How could you pass up that other guy?
Yeah.
I think they're all worthy of it, in my opinion. I do. But, when it comes to Ja'Marr Chase, he just has everything. I mean, first off, he has the ability to be an elite slot receiver. So he could be an elite slot receiver. He's not the most technique, well-schooled route runner yet. But again, it's like our old thing. Like, let's not over-evaluate the guy that we've seen can do every movement on the planet with his hips and his feet.
Right.
And just because no one's taught him exactly how to run the routes yet, let's not say, he's not a good route runner. No, there's plenty of good. But, one, he could be the best slot in football, but he also could be like the best outside weapon in football too, and just run by you with pure speed. And I think between all the other guys too, we're talking about maybe other than the guy from Florida, Cadarius Toney, this is the best receiver with the ball in his hands. That's where he's special. So 1, he can separate route running. 2, he plays way bigger than 6'1", 200. That's the one thing I like about him, Devonta Smith, and Dyami Brown. You know, they're 6 foot, 6'1", all that. But, man, when the ball's in the air, it's not 50-50. That's the other thing. You know, like you've heard me say before, it's kind of like 70-30 when the ball's in the air with these guys. So he has that aspect. But as far as going over the middle and being fearless, he's the most fearless of all of them. You know, and again, snatches the ball out of the air and is a guy that is looking to make big plays happen.
Hey, Matt Casey sighting.
Matt Casey, look, there he is, baby. He's looking. Yep, the Jets aren't getting him. Sorry, but I'm really excited about Ja'Marr Chase because he is, again, awesome receiver, weapon. He can do everything you want on the offensive side of the ball, where it's like you can line him up a tailback and give him the toss sweeps. You can do it all with him.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.